We're going to get going. Good evening. I'm Marjorie Bryan, and I'm the president of the Buffalo Jewish Federation. Along with Daniel Kester, president of the Foundation for Jewish Philanthropies, we welcome you to this special award ceremony and business meeting for both the Foundation and Federation. This is the third consecutive year that our organizations have joined together for our respective annual meetings, the Federation's 120th and the Foundation's 113th. It's gratifying to the Federation and Foundation to continue to work closely together to assist and guide the future of Jewish Buffalo.
Thank you, Margie. My name is Daniel Kester, and I'm the president of the Foundation for Jewish Philanthropies. It's a pleasure collaborating with you, Margie, to advance both agencies' good work along with all of the Jewish Buffalo agencies and organizations. Our program tonight gives us an opportunity to conduct our agencies' respective business and governance obligations and celebrate two prominent and long-standing leaders of our community, Karen and Rick Zakalik, who will receive the Foundation's highest honor, the Endowment Leadership Award. We are excited to hold this joint meeting here in Temple Beth Tzedek's beautiful sanctuary. We are grateful to the Temple's leadership for welcoming us this evening. Now, I'm honored to invite Temple Beth Tzedek's Rabbi, Sarah Rich, to share words of Torah with us, followed by her recitation of the names of individuals who passed away since the last joint annual meeting.
You're welcome. Good evening. On behalf of myself and our cantor, Mark Spindler, our cantorial intern, Zahava Fried, our president, Linda Boxer, and our entire board and congregation, we are so pleased to welcome you to Temple Beth Tzedek this evening. I want to point out that we have a seat up front saved for Yosef Chaim Ohana, one of the hostages in Gaza, and we pray for his immediate return along with all of the remaining hostages. Think of the last vivid dream that you had. What was it about? Did it mean something to you? In the Talmud, Rav Chisda teaches, a dream not interpreted is like a letter not read. Our tradition ascribes great meaning to the content of our dreams. It sees them as containing real messages for our lives. And in the Torah portion this week, Joseph dreams big. He dreams he's binding sheaves in the field with his 11 brothers, and their sheaves bow to his sheaf. He then dreams that the sun and the moon and 11 stars all bow to him. And Joseph's brothers do not take this well. They interpret their brothers' dreams to mean that he expects that they will bow down to him in real life. And they are so resentful that they sell him to the Midianites, who bring him down to Egypt. Against all odds, Joseph is successful in Egypt and rises to a rank of great power. And ultimately, his brothers end up fulfilling their interpretation of his dream when there's a famine and they come to Egypt and bow low before Joseph to try to get some help. Rabbi Bena'a teaches that once he had a dream that he presented to no less than 24 different dream interpreters in Jerusalem, and each one came back with a different interpretation, and in some way, each of these interpretations came true. So what we learn from Joseph's brothers and from Rabbi Bena'a is that the way that we interpret our dreams ultimately impacts our destiny. If we have an idea in our minds and we believe in it, then we can bring it into reality. Tonight, we are here to celebrate dreams and those who make them real. We say thank you to all of the people who have had dreams for what this community could be, and in lending their support and their time and their resources, they have turned these visions into reality for us. You are here tonight not as board members or committee chairs or staff or donors. You are dreamers, and you are interpreters of dreams. You are stewards of visions, and you are messengers of our community's deepest hopes. My blessing for us tonight is that we continue to believe in our dreams for Jewish Buffalo. Let us have faith that our interpretations of these dreams can come true. And when we go to sleep tonight, may our inspiration from this evening awaken us tomorrow to new dreams and new potential. Amen. Please join me in remembering our dear friends and supporters of the Foundation for Jewish Philanthropies who have passed away since last year's annual meeting. Dr. Michael J. Bloom, Nancy Bloom, Marianne Byers, Dr. Stanley Dixon, Leonard A. Dopkins, Marvin L. Frankel, Robert L. Freudenheim, Dr. Lloyd F. Gerbish, Claire Z. Goldberg, Esther M. Green, Karen M. Greenspan, Harold M. Halpern, Ronald J. Isaacs, Louis S. Kimmel, Julie N. Kingsley, Faye S. Levy, Dr. Jack Lippis, Richard J. Meltzer, Karen Norman, Hyman B. Polikoff, Henry P. Semmelhack, Janet K. Wisbaum, Carla Wiseman. May their memories be a blessing.
Thank you, Rabbi Rich, for your inspiring words and prayer. We will now begin Federation's brief business portion of our meeting. I invite Shelley Yellen, Federation's immediate past president and chair of the nominating committee, to come up to the podium.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of this year's nominating committee, the following individuals, in accordance with the Constitution and revised bylaws of the Buffalo Jewish Federation, have been nominated to serve a second three-year term as a returning member of the Board of Governors beginning January 1st, 2024. That's Mark Brown, Sean Fryer, and Gil Wolf. Can I call the current membership of the Buffalo Jewish Federation for a vote, which is really everyone in this room, for the most part. So I'm going to ask you for some participation at this point. Do we have a motion to accept the board members recommended for their second term as president? Thank you. And can I get a second? Second, okay. Duly noted. So all in favor signify by saying aye. Any objections or abstentions? Okay, the motion passes. Thank you. That's part one. Yeah. Yeah. I've got about 12 parts to go. No, just one more part. I would also like to recognize some outgoing board members: Jordan Balsam, Brenda Feldstein, Brenda Friedman, Risa Kulik, Ellen Niles, Lori Sadler, Ellen Weiss, and Laura Wexler, each of whom have completed their term of service on our board. We are grateful to each of them for their commitment to the Federation and their many contributions to strengthen Jewish Buffalo. We have special gifts for you and invite you to come to the podium to receive our small token of appreciation if you happen to be here tonight. Don't be shy. Lori, I see you there. Brenda. Brenda, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Lori, thank you so much. We can return the gifts for the people that didn't show, I guess. So, okay, I would like to now call a special meeting of the Board of Governors to elect the slate of officers that has been recommended by the nominating committee. And that's for next year, year 2024. The nomination for officers of the Buffalo Jewish Federation are as follows: President Marjorie Bryan, Vice President Mark Brown, Vice President Ken Schuman, Treasurer Sean Fryer, Secretary Cheryl Stein, and I will continue to serve as immediate past president. So this is a little tricky, so you have to listen and participate. So can current members of the Federation Board of Governors please stand up for a vote? Okay, so amongst the board, do we have a motion to accept the slate of officers as presented? Okay, and someone, can I get a second? Thank you. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any objections or abstentions? Okay, the motion passes unanimously. We were concerned, but we made it. May I have a motion to adjourn the special meeting of the Board of Governors of the Buffalo Jewish Federation? Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye. So the meeting is officially adjourned. Thank you and congratulations to all. Now I'm really delighted to invite Margie back up to share her reflections with us on her first year as president of the Jewish Federation. Thank you so much.
I want the job as the immediate past president where you just have fun with your presentations. Someday. Okay, so thanks, Shelley. Last year I stood in front of you at this annual meeting to accept the position of president of the Board of Federation and hoping to adequately fill the big shoes that Shelley left behind. I would like to thank Shelley for his ongoing exceptional support to the Federation, our board and executive committee, and to me personally. We appreciate your steady leadership and wise guidance, and I look forward to our continued work together in the new year. For everyone who cares about Israel and the Jewish people, the last few months have been marked by unprecedented challenges with the war between Israel and Hamas looming large and impacting all of us in various ways, both personally and as leaders. Amidst these difficulties, Jewish Buffalo has seen a remarkable surge in determination and communal strength. It has been gratifying to see our Federation taking the lead in bringing the Jewish community together for common causes and rally around collective actions. We spearheaded a fundraising effort, the Israel Emergency Campaign, enhanced security and preparedness through Secure Jewish Buffalo, delved deep on advocacy work with local legislative and civic leaders, partnered with JFS to facilitate emotional support for Holocaust survivors and others in need, and we have worked to provide vehicles for those who want to use their voices for change, including sending 2 buses to the March for Israel in DC. It was an extraordinary moment of solidarity. Our professional staff, under the leadership of Rob Goldberg and Miriam Abramovich, have been incredible, literally working around the clock in the early weeks to make all of this possible. Before I share a few highlights from the past year, I want to invite Rabbi Alex Lazarus Klein, Cantor Arlene Frank, Joanne Marquesi, and Todd Sugarman to the Bima to make a special presentation.
They put me in the spotlight here. I don't want to be in the spotlight. Let me see what we got here. Okay, as you know, we had a fundraiser, a musical fundraiser that Cantor Arlene decided to have, and it was supported by the community. Michael Berger had a large hand in this, contributing matching funds. And on that day, we raised $51,000. So we'd like to present this to Rob Goldberg, right? Are we presenting this to Rob?
Marjorie.
Marjorie, we can present to you.
And thank you for everyone's help in making that possible.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rabbi Alex, Cantor Frank, Joanne and Todd, and the congregation Shir Shalom community. Quite amazing. Okay, now back to Shelley's big shoes. They have indeed been hard to fill, but we have a lot to be proud of. We have a lot to be proud of. In addition to navigating the most complex communal trauma of our generation, our accomplishments this past year include external partnerships, securing new sources of funding, and new and impactful programmatic and operational initiatives. A few that I'd like to highlight are as follows. Our civic leaders' trip to Israel. This trip served as a cornerstone, fostering cultural understanding and forging invaluable connections between local leaders of various faiths and cultures, our Jewish community, and our ancestral homeland. Addressing anti-Semitism. Empowering our community with knowledge to combat hatred has been a priority for years, and this grassroots work is now more important than ever. Our internal communal educational efforts are focused on equipping Jewish individuals to confront prejudice with resilience and understanding. Our first Let's Talk About Anti-Semitism program was this past May, and a follow-up event is happening later this month in partnership with the Community Religious School. In addition, we have been working externally with several local school district superintendents looking to address anti-Semitism in schools in a strategic and systemic way. Our work in this space will continue with vigor and thoughtful attention in 2024. Cemetery restoration. Working with the foundation and a group of donors, we have made significant progress in both structural and beautification efforts at 10 Jewish cemeteries under the Federation stewardship. Restoring dignity to our sacred sites was not just an act of preservation, but a testament to our unwavering respect for our Jewish Buffalo history and heritage. Leveraging our resources. We've been embracing technological advancements and strategic partnerships. We have streamlined the Federation's operational infrastructure. First, we outsourced our HR, employing a professional employment organization this year to provide additional benefits and capabilities to our professionals while reducing the internal administrative burden of maintaining and staying current with New York State and federal requirements. In addition, we moved our ongoing people plan forward, focusing on professional growth, organizational stability, and succession planning. All of this to ensure an efficient and effective operation that can provide robust support to our community. And finally, updating our bylaws. Our commitment to governance and sustainability shines through the updates in our fundamental operating document. As we move forward into 2024, we have laid out a roadmap of strategic priorities to lead and support the needs of Jewish Buffalo. Highlighting our focus will be continuing to invest in streamlining operations to provide a solid foundation for everything we do, focusing on projects tied to finance systems, marketing communication strategy, and donor information management. Updating our development approach across all aspects of how we bring dollars into the agency and the community, not just the annual campaign. The strategic approach to development is exciting and necessary as our donor population shifts over time. Maintaining excellence in our sustaining programs. The JCRC, focused on community relations, LINK, with its focus on education and engagement, and HERO, engaged in Holocaust education, that have all served the community well over the past several years. In addition, we will focus resources and expand programming for young adults, continued emphasis on combating hate and anti-Semitism, restarting our immersive experiences, and okay, I was thinking there was something going to come up behind me. We still have a few spots available for our April trip, exploring our routes to Poland and Austria. So if you are interested, please see Stacy Block tonight. We'd love to have you. And a Kolot leadership trip for women later this year. Ensuring the safety of our community, and finally, Israel engagement. Before closing, I want to take a moment to thank the Federation's officers, our VPs, Risa Kulik and Mark Brown, Secretary Cheryl Stein, and Treasurer Sean Fryer for their exceptional leadership and support this past year. As we start the new year, we welcome Ken Schuman, our newest VP, as we bid farewell and a special thanks to Risa for her service. Thank you all. We are embarking on an exciting year ahead, and I look forward to having everyone here engaged with us in activities and philanthropic effort levels that are meaningful to you and your family. Thank you. I want to invite Dan back to the podium for the Foundation's business meeting and the presentation of the award.
Thank you, Margie. Welcome to the 113th annual meeting of the Foundation for Jewish Philanthropies, especially as we honor Karen and Rick Zakalik. So tomorrow morning, I'm flying to Los Angeles with my wife Ganila and my daughter Anya to celebrate my father's 98th birthday. He's lived a long time and has experienced much. He especially remembers the days leading up to his bar mitzvah, scheduled to take place in the beautiful synagogue of his hometown of Wiesbaden in Germany. He remembers seeing the synagogue 1 month before his bar mitzvah go up in flames, burnt by a Nazi mob. He remembers a few weeks later, right after his 13th birthday, leaving on a Kindertransport for the safety of Sweden. He remembers saying goodbye to his parents and his grandmother at the train station, not realizing that he would never see them again. Now, 85 years later, he is saddened and disgusted, as am I, to once again see things happening that we thought were part of the distant past. Over 1,000 Jews massacred because they were Jewish. 200 Jews marched off to an uncertain fate. Anti-Semitism once again on the rise in Europe. And even here, in the United States of America, in the country where he thought he had escaped anti-Semitism, he sees anti-Semitism rearing its ugly head. Even democracy itself is under threat in this country. All things that we thought we had left behind many decades ago. These things should not be happening in the 21st century. Thank you. Thinking of him, I'm reminded of the need for us Jews and non-Jews to fight the forces of hate. I see the need for a strong, united Jewish community. Crucial to this are strong Jewish organizations, our synagogues, our federation, and our foundation. We Jews are compassionate people. Our hearts break for the Israeli victims of the October massacre and for the remaining hostages. But being a compassionate people, our hearts also break for those many citizens of Gaza whose only crime is being born in the wrong place and having a government that shows a total disregard for the value of human life, Jewish or Arab. One way that we show our compassion is by donating through the Foundation for Jewish Philanthropies to many hundreds and hundreds of nonprofit organizations that help make the world a better place by feeding the hungry, educating the uneducated, healing the sick, supporting cultural institutions, and supporting our spiritual organizations. It is this compassion, this work, that makes me proud to be a part of the Foundation for Jewish Philanthropies. The Foundation, under the leadership of Irv Levy, has had a good year. We have distributed, on behalf of our donors, more than $14.5 million. We manage assets of $250 million, $250 million, making us not only the oldest Western New York foundation, but the third largest. We have an excellent board, and more importantly, we have an active board, working to make the foundation a continuously improving organization. We have a great staff. They are the ones most responsible for making the foundation successful. Lauren, Rachel, Barb, Sandy, Susan, Linda, Ross Thank you for all that you do. And we have great donors. Their generosity and giving in order to improve the world, especially Buffalo, never fails to impress me. Highlights at the foundation this year have included the highly successful completion of the second year of the Life and Legacy program, which you'll hear more about shortly. I think the most important result of the program is the community collaboration and the creation of a culture of legacy giving in the Buffalo Jewish community. We also have increased the collaboration of the foundation with other Buffalo Jewish agencies and causes, such as the work being done with the Cemetery Corporation, the Temple Beth Zion Capital Campaign, working with Federation on Security, working with JFS to support Holocaust survivors, and so much more. We have recently installed a new software system that will make the foundation's work much easier and efficient, and will allow donors to view their accounts and allow them to make donations and grant requests online. The foundation looks forward to the coming year in which we will continue to work with our donors to allow them to achieve their goals of making this world, our world, a better place. Thank you. Now please join me in welcoming Don Konstam, Chair of the Foundation's Governance Committee.
I know you'd all like another opportunity to vote, but you can't because we're a different type of organization. Our Board of Trustees has elected our officers and our other leadership, and I'd like to introduce them to you. Our officers for 2024 are Dan Kester as president. Our vice presidents are Jeff Bagel, Craig Small, and Peter Weinman. Secretary is Rick Steinberg. Treasurer is Penny Howard. Irv Levy has been given an opportunity to serve for another year because we renew every year, and he has accepted, and we are thrilled. We have some new trustees. If you're in the room, I'd appreciate your standing up so we can recognize you. Mort Abramson, Alon Kufferman, and Ruth Spivak. And we'd also like to thank our three trustees who've completed their term and are going off: Michael Joseph, Dr. Joel Paul, and Alan Rosenhock. And speaking of Alan Rosenhock, I would like to introduce Allison Keene and Howard Rosenhock, who are chairs and Life and Legacy of Buffalo, and provide us an update on the important initiative in the Buffalo area. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I actually think Rabbi Rich should take my spot because she talks about dreams and how we might dream of our future. And that's really what Life and Legacy is all about, is putting that into reality. Since the inception of Life and Legacy at Buffalo on July 1st, 2021, nearly 2.5 years ago, we have 435 letters of intent, perhaps a little bit more, it changes daily, from 246 committed donors, translating to nearly $13 million. Let's keep dreaming. The Foundation and Federation are working closely with all the participating agencies, synagogues, organizations to build their endowment programs and strengthen Jewish Buffalo. And we've made great strides working with all to advance their respective donors' letters of intent. This year, the Grinspoon Foundation requires us to turn those letters, 50% of those letters of intent, into formalized gifts, meaning go to your attorney, your estate planner, and put those gifts in writing, and let's make this happen. Our Jewish organizations and shuls depend on us doing this to ensure the future of Jewish Buffalo. Howard, my partner in crime.
Thank you, Allison, for that uplifting report. Over 400 letters of intent, nearly 250 donors, almost $13 million in just over 2 years. Wow. Folks, this is the foundation that each of us is collectively. Each of us collectively is creating to sustain Jewish Buffalo into the future, further than any of us can see. This is the foundation that will support Jewish Buffalo literally forever. What a powerful concept that is. The program we call Life and Legacy is creating a culture in Jewish Buffalo of legacy giving. As a community, we're learning the importance and the impact of afterlife giving. So thanks to each and every one of you for being a part of and for building and sustaining Jewish Buffalo.
Thank you.
And before we retire from the podium, on behalf of Allison and me, congratulations to Rick and Karen.
When you say you're going to retire, I thought from the position, we won't let you. So thank you, Allison and Howard, for leading Life and Legacy, doing a really great job. I'm really impressed with what you've done in the last couple of years, so thank you for that. Now, it is with great pleasure and profound sense of admiration that I introduce the recipients of the Foundation's prestigious 2023 Endowment Leadership Award. Tonight, we honor Karen and Rick Zakalik for their extraordinary contributions, selfless spirit, and relentless efforts to create a better community for all. Through their actions, they exemplify the essence of what it means to be pillars of our community. As we present Karen and Rick with the Foundation's Endowment Leadership Award, let's applaud their achievements and reflect on the profound impact of their kindness, dedication, and generosity. I'm confident you will appreciate the following video as much as I do. Thank you, Brenna Feldstein, wherever you are. Hi, Brenda. And side note, this video will be available on the Foundation's website after tonight's meeting. So now please join me in watching the video.
My two sons went to Kadima School, and from 1999 to 2001, Karen was board president of the Kadima School, and I so admired her strength and her character in getting stuff done. In 2003, I was chief of the Domestic Violence Bureau in the DA's office, and I had written a grant for to obtain funds from the Department of Justice to open a family justice center. Buffalo and Erie County was one of the 13 communities that were awarded the grant. And I turned to Karen and I said, I can't pay you a dime, but I need help. And would you be willing to volunteer to help set up the first family justice center in Erie County? And within a tenth of a second, she said yes. And I started to get to know Rick, who is an amazing get things done kind of guy. When it was decided that Kadima School should have its own building, that never, ever would have happened without Rick and of course Karen by his side, with his vision and ability to bring our community together for a Jewish day school. That building was a tribute to the Zakaliks, beyond a shadow of a doubt. I feel lucky that I'm part of a community that is as strong as it is because of Karen and Rick. And I'm just lucky to count them as my friends.
What I've always admired about them is that they've built this group of people around them, largely from the Jewish community, but also from elsewhere too, that have been there through all the amazing times through our lives, right? You know, being born, our bris, our bar mitzvahs, but also like the hard times. And that's, I think, something that as now, you know, I have my own son, learning to be a good father and all these things, that it's not just about your nuclear union, but about like the entire, you know, the people you surround yourself with, and the values that they bring too. You've instilled values in both me and David that we continue to carry on in our own journey with Judaism, especially in times like this where there's such uncertainty in the world, and the need to rally together is so important. And especially now as I have my own son and look to instill the same values in him as he grows up, I just want to say thank you for everything you've done for me and for this community. Mazel tov, and we love you guys.
Kathy and I came to Buffalo in 1993. Our kids were young. Philip started attending Kadima Nursery School, and through that connection, we met Rick and Karen Zakalik, and we've just been friends ever since. When he took over as the executive of JCC, he really knew how to run a tight ship, and I think that was to the benefit of the JCC, certainly their financial bottom line. He led by making a big gift, and then went to everybody and asked them to give the best gift that they could give. Rick has said to me that money is like manure. It's only good if you spread it around. Background is not one of necessarily fundraising and charity, but Rick, of course, with his involvement in Jewish philanthropy, has strongly influenced me. You know, I feel honored to be able to contribute to this community, and I think, you know, in part, Rick, you know, has had a significant influence on me.
I got to meet Rick in the 1980s when I was at Federation and he was a volunteer for the campaign. And then Rick, in the early 90s, chaired the campaign for Jewish Buffalo, and also chaired the campaign for Soviet Jewry, where we raised money to bring Jews who were coming in from the Soviet Union into Buffalo. Rick would just call people up and say, look, I need money from you. We have to bring these people in. We have to find housing for them. They're starting with nothing. And he was very successful, and people were able to come over, and Rick has a lot to do with that. My mother died in 2007, and Karen and Rick were friends with my mom, Arlene Goldstein. But what Karen and her son David and the family did for us, she came over that day and helped me and my sister. We had to clean the whole house up. This is something I will never forget. And so in the process of this, they became part of our family, or we became part of their family. It's all about caring and sharing and making people's lives better in Buffalo, New York, and that's what they're doing, and that's what they've done. I think their legacy, and we're fortunate in the Jewish community to be able to have had both of them as leaders.
As early as I can remember, our dinner table was the nexus of Jewish life in our home. Every Friday night, without fail, when we were home, whether it was the four of us, Grandma too, or a house of 20 guests, Shabbat was really, and still is, the center of our family life when we're all together. My knowledge of Yiddishkeit has stuck with me. Every hug, every kiss was Jewish in our home. If it weren't for that, I wouldn't be the person I am today. I would have been on a very different path, and I think my life would have been much poorer and blander. Herzlich and Mazel Tov to you both. This award is very much deserved, and it just barely scratches the surface of the service that you both have done to the community yourselves and by raising two proud Jewish sons.
Rick Zakalik was the CEO of the JCC, and I was his associate executive director, so I was his right hand, and I worked with him for over 10 years. You don't often see in people at the executive level the kindness that he portrayed. The year that my mom passed away, he and Karen immediately kind of took charge and arranged for the Shiva dinners. When we went through COVID, we shut down for a number of weeks, and he was very sensitive to the fact that staff needed to get paid, and how are we going to make sure that we took care of them. We all took 20% cuts in our salary, but we knew we had to do that. Eventually it came back when we received the credits, but we were willing to step up, and he was a partner in this. It wasn't he was going to do something different for him. We all were in it together with him. And that's just how he was. So his impact was so profound. I have learned a tremendous amount from him. The business acumen, being involved in the community, establishing community relations, demonstrating that I can be a leader as he was. You know, I hope that when I finally retire from here, that they feel the same way about me as we all feel about him. Thank you for everything you've taught me. Thank you for being a partner. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for believing in me.
Rick and Karen, to me, exemplified the best of Jewish lay leadership. On the fundraising side, Rick, for example, was able to teach us how to dream and teach me how to develop a dream with regards to lay leadership. He said, for example, Mark, if we can get 40 people to pretend they have an extra child in the school and pay full tuition for 5 years, we can make this happen. Rick was able to get that dream, and I've used that in other schools. Karen excelled in making sure our school held fast to its values and made sure that we were true to who we should be. And you can't have enough of that. You always need people in your school who you could trust to be honest. And I appreciated her feedback tremendously. Shalom Israel, and I love the fact that you're doing this in spite of the war, and for me to be able to get my mind out of the war for a bit is also important. Thank you.
I first met Karen shortly after they were married. I saw in her very intent eyes and was not surprised at her beauty, because Rick always loved beautiful things. I knew right away that she was someone I would want to know more of. I was so pleased that Karen took part in one of the first classes of the Board Governance Project for Women that I founded at the United Way. Karen taught me refinement. She knew how to refine a thought, how to distill things, and how to take the information from one place to another with ease. And I think it's a wonderful thing to be taught. She also taught me some recipes, which is always a good thing. I can't think of Karen without thinking of Rick. They have a beautiful marriage. I think that says volumes about the way they respect each other. Their children are wonderful. Communities are where we bring our gifts, our strengths, where we can contribute. The Jewish community is stronger because of Rick and Karen Zakalik.
Wow, great video. And I think we can all be inspired by what Karen and Rick have done with their lives, and hopefully it can be an inspiration for all of us. Now, please join me in extending a heartfelt congratulations to Karen and Rick for this well-deserved honor. Karen and Rick, please join me to accept the award.
Thank you very much. I'll go home.
It's heavy. It's heavy.
Yeah, shop it, I'll go on.
Picture.
Here, Al, let me hold it the right way. You good?
Okay,
Stand with me?
Yeah, keep going. Sit down. I'm gonna sit down. Don't know how I forget this. It sucks.
Well, in case you didn't hear Rick's short thank you, I want to make it loud and clear for everybody that Rick says thank you, now go home. I have a little more to say to everyone who is gathered here this evening in this beautiful sanctuary and online to witness this honor the foundation has bestowed on us. 33 years, 5 months, and 5 days ago, Buffalo became my hometown. That was July 1st, 1990. It's easy to remember. We were newly married, and Rick was the incoming United Jewish Fund campaign chair. He asked me before our wedding if it was crazy to take on this role at this time. I fully supported him in accepting the responsibility, and it was the best way for me to meet so many of you in this room and online. It made the transition very easy to have a spouse who is so involved in the community, because I didn't have a choice. I had to be at various functions. And thankfully, my prior job as the executive director of the Oriental Rug Importers Association, where I dealt with a lot of Middle Eastern men, I was quite comfortable in unfamiliar surroundings. Hanukkah 1990 was December 11th through the 19th, and we went to Israel as part of a solidarity mission prior to the first Gulf War. I was also 5.5 months pregnant. On that trip, I met Rick's large extended family living there, and Israel became my second home. Rick and I have worked together and separately on many different projects, AKA campaigns, and many of you in this room and online have been solicited by him for major gifts, And I've heard it's easier to say yes because then you can go on with your life. For all of you who have said yes, our Jewish community and our community at large are better for it, and we are grateful. In closing, I will simply thank you to Brenda. I didn't want to cry, but you made me. You made me. It's really remarkable to see what a beautiful life. I know we have it, but to see it. It's very touching. I also want to thank Irv and Dan and everybody behind the scenes at the foundation for working with us under our current trying circumstances. I just want to say we are humbled and honored. To our family, friends, and community, we love you more than words can adequately express. Thank you all for being with us tonight.
Congratulations again, Karen and Rick. That's fabulous. And yes, Brenda, I did cry too. Before we end this meeting, we have one more surprise presentation. We finish by honoring an individual whose dedication has woven an indelible thread through the tapestry of our community. Ellen Goldstein's retirement from Federation at the end of the year marks the conclusion of her remarkable tenure as the editor of the Jewish Journal of Western New York, a publication she helped launch 12 years ago. Yes, you. Ellen's legacy transcends mere professional milestones. It embodies a commitment that spans almost 3 decades of service to the Federation. From the start, following in the footsteps of our friend Lana Benetovich in community relations, Ellen's journey has been a testament to her unwavering passion for Jewish Buffalo and her dedication to the Jewish Journal. Her impact reverberates far beyond the pages of our publications. Ellen's extraordinary network, nurtured over the years, has been the cornerstone of enduring relationships throughout Western New York. Her discerning eye has documented Federation's events over the years, capturing almost every event and milestone as our in-house photographer. When the opportunity arose to transform the Federation News into the new Jewish Journal of Western New York, Ellen didn't just embrace it, she championed it. With boundless enthusiasm and unwavering determination, she led the Jewish Journal as its editor since its inception, partnering with the Spree Publishing to craft an award-winning monthly publication that resonates throughout our community, now printed 8 times a year. Ellen's impact is not just measured in years of service or accolades earned. It's in the lives she's touched, the narratives she's illuminated, and the vibrant tapestries she's helped weave within the fabric of Western New York's Jewish community. As she embarks on her next chapter, we gather to express our deepest gratitude for her unparalleled dedication and unwavering spirit. Ellen, please come up and receive a gift of our token of appreciation for your years of service. It's an original Kathy. You have to come in the picture.
Oh, Lisa wants a picture of the. Yes, Judge. But the judge asked for, she gets. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Love you.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay. I think you're wrapping.
So thank you, everyone, for attending, whether you were here in person or watching virtually. Hi out there. And finally, happy Hanukkah, everyone.
If you have any stamina left, we invite you to join us in the reception hall for some dessert. Thank you.
Can I get a picture with you? You guys can sit down. You can hold the award.
Hi, Sarah. How are you? You did such a good job. Your speech was so good.
Oh, I have it.